What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TB Toycast YouTube channel. This is a fun one. Really looking forward to this as I'm back with some more McFarlane and some more Super Friends. And it is, of course, possibly the leader of the Super Friends. Definitely the second in command, if not the leader. It is Batman, the Caped Crusader himself. Really looking forward to this. I actually got this on Big Bad Toy Store. I ordered it. I threw it in my pile of loot because I thought, you know what? I don't want to miss Batman, and I've seen it probably 50 times since then. But what are you going to do? I had no problem finding these. I found them all the time. In fact, I just saw them again yesterday. I even saw a Chase Riddler yesterday. Good friend Travis Fowler from the TB Toycast podcast, of course, had issues finding any of them. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you have issues finding Super Friends? I had no issues at all, but I guess time will tell. But like I said, these are super fun. They kind of go with the McFarlane DC retro style figures. As I said before, I'm planning to collect all the Super Friends, and I'm gonna kind of mix and match certain 66 Batman figures in there. Recently picked up King Tut. He's gonna go with these. Like I said, only characters that Super Friends won't get: Bookworm, King Tut, maybe Two-Face will all go in here, but all the rest of them probably not. I did also pick up the New Adventures of Batman Joker recently, and he will be in this line as well. Looking forward to... I actually got that in the same pile of loot when I got Batman, but I think these are so cool. You got your heroes up top there, that classic Super Friends font. I love this color scheme on Batman, the gray and the blue, that classic Batman logo. Chef's Kiss, got a trading card in the back there. I love the weathering they added to the card. That is absolutely fantastic. Classic DC logo there. But awesome. These are really, really fun. A little probably expensive for what they are, but still a lot of fun. Back of the package there. Nothing super special, but we do kind of see, not necessarily a roster, but maybe what's to come. We do know Wave 2. Let's see if we know the Flash is in Wave 2, as well as Superman. We're also getting 3 new villains. Toyman, Cheetah, and Captain Cold will all be a part of Wave 2, as well as a variant Superman, the Universe of Evil Superman. And as we do know, Universe of Evil Batman was the one of the chase figures in Series 1. It looks like, though, Series 2 is only going to have one chase, which I personally think is a good thing, because I know having 2 chases in Series 1 with the Riddler, or Platinums as they call them in McFarlane land, we had the Riddler and the Universe of Evil Batman. I was like, that's a little too much, as we know, but it's weird. You know, me and Travis on the podcast, it was no secret, we were not necessarily fond of the 66 Batman line. We thought it was a little expensive for what you got, but now the prices have gone up, and we're like, you know what, these are cool. We like them. Minimal accessories here, as you guys probably know. I'm not a huge into a lot of accessories. I feel like it's easy to lose them, and it drops your value down quite a bit. So I think having the communicator and a Batarang, I think that's perfect for Batman. I think these are great. I think these are a lot of fun. I think my only real issue with this line is, will we get all of these before they lose the license? Hopefully we get a good 4 or 5 waves. I do know Wave 3 has been leaked, and I believe Bizarro is in there. Bizarro Batman, where he actually put on a bat suit. Is it Zan and Jaina, where the Wonder Twins? I think we're getting Zan, maybe? Is that right? Zan and Jaina. Yeah, I think we're getting Zan and a couple of others. I don't remember right off the top. Maybe Aquaman. Maybe one more hero. I think it's awesome. I would love to get, Solomon Grundy, Mr. Freeze, Gorilla Grodd, all those fun characters. Give them all to me. The Penguin would be really cool. So I guess we'll see what happens. But, I've also kind of wondered, maybe McFarlane will be able to keep a scale like this. Maybe he'll be able to keep Super Friends. Time will tell. I don't know. Mattel obviously is going after the main DC line, but we'll see what happens there. And I'm very curious what Mattel does with it. Part of me wonders maybe they'll do something in the scale of Masterverse, and if that's the case, maybe I should collect Masterverse again. I don't know. I've been having internal questions about that here recently. Should I collect that line? Should I not? I don't know. Initially, Masterverse was fun, and then it kind of lost its appeal to me. I think mostly because of the of it basically being based upon the Netflix show, which I didn't hate, but I was like, I'd rather see other versions of these characters. But those new Eternia versions of those characters are really, really good. And I saw some of those just today, and I was like, oof, it kind of got me in the feel. So we got the Batman card here, really, really cool. Awesome artwork. We got a roster of Series 1. Only one we're missing is Universe of Evil Batman. Of course, I guess that's technically a variant, so that's maybe why that's not on there. So that's okay. But really cool. So like it gives you a checklist plus some cool artwork. I think that's a fun card. We're going to set it up right there. Of course, we got his Batarang. Not really a classic Batarang, but it's all right. It works. And we got a communicator because, you know, got to be able to keep tabs on all the other heroes when they're out fighting crime. But yeah, I think these are great. I think it's cool to get the Universe of Evil variants. I think that's awesome. And hopefully we get, you know, all the characters. Like I said, I'd love to get Robin in this scale. Wonder Woman, of course. Well, so far, I don't hate this. I think this looks pretty good. He's not exactly buffed up Batman. He definitely has that Adam West body. They may have reused that same mold there. Definitely possible. In fact, it looks very similar to Adam West's style. So, but again, I'm okay with that. I like the soft goods cape. That's kind of a nice touch. Overall, I don't hate this at all. I'm going to put the Batarang in his hand, maybe. See if I can pull that off here. Maybe. Alright, that looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm kind of minimalistic as far as accessories are concerned. I don't need a ton. I want my figure to stand up, and that's basically it. Here's just communicator. I'll set that right there by his leg. This looks pretty cool to me. I love the Green Lantern that I unboxed. I unboxed an Alice Cooper as well that I'm going to kind of keep with these. Almost like if Alice Cooper joined the Super Friends type of thing. Because the Music Maniac figures are also in the same scale. We recently lost Ozzy Osbourne. It'd be kind of cool to get him in this scale as well, although I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. But yeah, definitely a cool looking figure. Very, very fun. Better articulation than I was expecting. I guess with these, I was kind of expecting a more up and down on the shoulders, but we definitely get a better situation there than I was expecting. So not bad. Maybe a little bit more leg articulation would be nice, but at the end of the day, most of us are just displaying these, and so for that, I do have a little, does that look a little chunk out right there? I don't know. Little hole? I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not. It's not a huge deal. You can't really see it from this angle, but something I noticed. But he stands up well, so that's all you can ask for. Nothing worse than a action figure that wouldn't stand up, of course. His cape probably could be a little bit longer, but it's not bad. Not bad at all. What do you guys think? Are you picking up Super Friends? Are you into the Super Friends line? How do you feel about McFarlane losing the license? Some people are like, you know what? Let's try something else. Let's try something new. Sometimes that's never a bad thing. I do know usually some new interest does get churned up when a new company has a license. I'm sure at SDCC 2026 we'll see some stuff. Maybe before that, if he's taken over in 2026, I mean Mattel. I say he, I mean Mattel, the company, is taking over in 2026. Like in the fall, we'll probably see something before then. But who's to say? I do know McFarlane did not show a ton for DC. So I guess we'll see what happens. Some people have thought maybe he'll keep the Page Puncher, so he may actually keep that scale, but minimal figures. Again, it's hard to say. I know, like with Marvel, a lot of companies have the license because like Diamond Select had it, of course. Hasbro had it, and other companies as well. And even DC, like Spin Master has a version of the line. McFarlane has it, so I guess we'll see what happens. But I'm very curious to see what Mattel does with it. Because I'll be honest, I think Mattel did great on the DC Universe Classics. I think that was a great line. Everything after that, the DC Multiverse lines they did, were not my favorites. Some were better than others, but for the most part, I felt like they could have done better. Just my opinion. And I think McFarlane took it and he ran with it and he made it great. So we'll see what happens. But again, I would love to see more Super Friends. I'm hoping I at least get 4 waves of these. If I get that, I'll feel somewhat accomplished in it. I guess we'll see what happens. I would love to see Robin, of course. Maybe he'll show up in Wave 4 or so. Because I think Wave 3 was already, I mentioned it before, was already leaked. And he was not in Wave 4. So maybe Robin will be in Wave 3. I'm sorry, Wave 4, not Wave 3. And who knows. But overall, this is a cool Batman figure. Like I said, I like the Super Friends line. And I'm hoping to find Wave 2 on the pegs at retail very shortly. Because like I said, finding these was not difficult at all. But are you collecting Super Friends? Are you into McFarlane? Are you into DC Comics at all? Maybe you're not into this at all. But drop your comments down below one way or another. And of course, check out my other unboxing videos. I dropped 3 really fun unboxing videos last week, including Coco Beware from the Hastel Toys Grapplers and Gimmicks line. That was on Monday. On Wednesday, I Dove into the world of The Simpsons again with the itchy and scratchy 2.5-inch Simpsons figures. Whole lot of fun there. And then on Friday, All Ego Ethan Page from the Major Big Rubber Guys line. Really, really cool figure. Love the Big Rubber Guys and the return of LJN. So excited about that. Like I said, I think any collection can be put on hold with new stuff coming out. So, who's to say if DC comes back with Mattel and they really are good figures, maybe something gets put on hold. We shall see. And maybe Mattel decides to dive into Super Friends. Maybe Mattel decides to dive into Batman 66. Who knows? It'll be pretty wild, that is for sure. Also, check out What's on the Pegs every Saturday and to check out my toy hunts, kind of my version of a toy hunt, as it were. And then, of course, once a month, I am dropping Tales of the Toy Box. It is a comprehensive look, I guess you could say, at a specific toy line series. And I just most recently dove into Toy Biz X-Men Series 1, which was a lot of fun. So check those out. New episodes dropping about once a month. And, of course, check out the TB Toycast podcast every Thursday. Me and Travis Fowler dive into a different main event, which covers a specific toy line, as well as all the news and happenings in the toy world of that particular week. So it's always a lot of fun. Check that out every Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts. But that's it. That's all I got. Thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That is Batman of the Super Friends line. And we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.